guests, welcome to today's Big Brother 19 updates and spoilers. Our house guest of the day is Carl Van Bergen. Carl, thank you so much for the support. We really appreciate it. And I hope you're enjoying this dumpster fire of a season. Lucy is so over it. So thanks again for the support. And if you guys want to be our house guest of the day, check out our Patreon link in the info box below. Alright, so I'm not going to lie. It was another rough day in the Big Brother house yesterday. It was some bullshit. So it started off okay-ish. Jason had the Snapchat glasses, and that was like, whatever. They were acting like idiots for that. Who cares? So then Kevin was talking to Matt in the backyard, and this is kind of where things kicked off. So Kevin is letting Matt know, I did not vote to evict you last week, which is true. He voted to evict Mac. So he's saying somebody else did that and tried to frame me, and Matt's like, yeah, I see that now. That makes sense. So then Kevin admits that he did get the $25,000 on the first day. And he's like, what was I supposed to do? Tell everybody on the first night and make myself a target? And Matt's like, no, I completely agree. Like, you did the right thing, blah, blah, blah. So, well, come on. Matt's not going to disagree. Let's be real. So Kevin is like, you know what? I'll probably be joining you in the jury in a week or two because they're all ganging up on me now, and I know what that means. So he's, you know, kind of thinking about his game, and he's like, things were going really good until one person started bad-mouthing me. So he says she, meaning Alex, doesn't like him because he's close with Jason. And I think that is one of the huge issues here. Alex is like, get away from my ride or die. But also, like I said yesterday, Paul decided that everybody was going to go ham on Kevin, and Alex just freaking jumped on that and went so far with it. So Kevin is asking Matt to keep all of this between them. You know, he's like, I opened up to you about this stuff because you are going to the jury. I want you to know before you leave that I wasn't lying to you. Also, you're older and supposedly more mature than some of these other ones, so I felt like I could tell you these things. So Matt's like, oh yeah, of course, whatever. So then Kevin is letting him know, you know, be careful. People are being nice to you right now because you're going to jury. Kevin is one of those people. But he's like, and I want you to know, you're not up on the block this week because of the HOH. You're up there because of the puppet master. So again, I believe he's referring to Alex here. He's trying to take that blame away from Jason. So then, after promising not to share this conversation with anyone, Matt pops into the Apple Lounge where Paul, Alex, and Christmas are talking, and he's talking to Alex, and he's like, just so you know, you're the puppet master, and this is all, none of this is Jason's fault. So they're like, oh my god, you're talking to Kevin? And he's like, yeah, Kevin just said all that stuff to me outside. So then Jason and Josh were chatting in the HOH room. You gotta, I just want to say too, Paul, upon hearing this, was probably like, woo, somebody else is being accused of being the puppet master, not me, right? He's got to be relieved about that. So Jason and Josh were chatting in the HOH room, and it sounds like Jason is second-guessing his decision to keep the nominations the same this week. They're both saying like, oh, I love Kevin, but it's just time for him to go. So Jason's like, do you think I should have just put him up this week? And Josh is like, yeah. He is claiming that Kevin would not have gone home, that Matt would still go, but that is not true because they were already talking about voting out Kevin. So Josh is like, yeah, Kevin hasn't done anything in this game. He hasn't won anything. He's talked shit about everybody. And he says that if Kevin makes it to the final two, he's gonna win. He says that Kevin has been trying to play Derek's game from season 16. I've got a couple problems with this. Okay. Number one, do you not understand how the jury works? You're not just going there to hang out and get paid to do nothing, which is what it seems like these people think. If you're all on the jury and you're voting and you don't like Kevin, you don't vote for Kevin and then he doesn't win. Why do you not understand that? Do they think some magical jury is going to appear and actually do the work? The little bit of work that they have to do? No. Okay, also, people accusing Kevin of trying to play Derek's game. Did you guys watch season 16? Derek did a lot of work. He wasn't just chilling out, coasting, okay? I love watching Kevin on this show. He's my favorite on this show because he's not a jackass compared to these other people. But Kevin has been coasting, okay? Derek did a lot of work, and he did still win a few HOHs too, so, like, I don't know what they're talking about, but whatever. Okay, so anyway, moving on. Josh says all along he's been standing up for Kevin to people, but he's not going to defend him anymore because he's upset that Kevin tried to pin $25,000 on him, and he says that Kevin is now trying to pit Alex and Paul against each other. Nope. This whole time, Kevin has been taking this shit from Alex and Paul, and for some reason, he still wanted to go to the Final Four with them at that point. He was like, yeah, I want to keep the group together. Let's do this. But they're like, no, Kevin is trying to pit us against each other. So then Josh is telling Jason that he took the golden apple in the first HOH competition because he knew at that point that Kevin got the $25,000 and he was going to have to throw the competition. So he couldn't rely on the rest of his team. It was like Jillian and I forgot who the other person was. It doesn't really matter. But he's like, I couldn't tell anybody about that because I was keeping the secret for Kevin, blah, blah, blah. Sure, Josh. Okay, so then Josh was saying he's going to be airing all of Kevin's stuff next week, but it's not going to be aggressive or a fight. Just like, never. When has he ever aired people's stuff and it hasn't turned into a fight? I mean, come on. And I'm sick of Josh saying that he was like so scared because on four separate occasions people have like threatened him or whatever. Maybe it's because you keep provoking them. I'm not saying that threatening people is okay, but don't like threaten or don't provoke people endlessly and then act all surprised when they react. People can only take so much garbage. But anyway, Kevin and Paul were talking in the backyard, and this was just a quick chat. And Kevin was like, I don't get why Alex is bad-mouthing me so much right now. It seems like it just came out of nowhere. And Paul's like, I don't know, man. She really doesn't like you. And Kevin tells Paul, just so you know, I don't think you're going to have a chance to win if you're in the final three with Jason and Alex. And Paul, which, come on. But Paul's just like, trust me, I know you're preaching to the choir. But Paul does agree, like, Jason and Alex are his biggest threats. He needs to take them out. So he's just like, So then Paul immediately reports this to Alex and Christmas. He's like, yeah, he just told me I'm not going to have a shot to win against you or Jason. So then they're all laughing about telling Kevin that he looks old because that's like Alex's new thing. She says she told Kevin his skin looks leathery and he's going to get cancer. What the hell is wrong with you? Guys, it is taking every ounce of restraint I have right now to not say what I want to say. But I'm just going to move on. Okay, so then Paul goes up to the HOH room to share the conversation with Kevin with Jason and Josh. You know, it's the same thing. He told me that I can't beat you or Alex, blah, blah, blah. And then they're discussing how Kevin has been befriending everybody before they leave. He's working for those jury votes. I mean, some people do that instead of getting everybody in the house to gang up on that one person before they leave. Some people actually try, you know, to get those jury votes by being friends with people. But anyway, Paul is playing up that they all need to throw the HOH competition to Josh or Christmas. He's pushing that Kevin is the next target because he's in the presence of Jason and he doesn't want Jason to know that he's actually the target next week. Everybody is in on this plan except for Jason, Alex, and Kevin at this point. They all think that Kevin is the next target, including Kevin. I think Kevin knows that now. He's like, oh shit, they're all ganging up on me. But the real plan is to put up Jason and Alex. So then Alex was talking to Paul, and I'm sorry, but like, she's disgusting. She was saying to Paul, next time Kevin asks you why I hate him so much, be like, oh, I don't think she does. She's trying to look out for you. She said that you remind her of her grandfather who died at your age. By the way, this is a made-up grandfather. This is not a real thing. And say, like, that I'm worried about him because her grandfather had Alzheimer's or, like, dementia or something. Also, she wants you to put on sunscreen so you don't get cancer. You know what I have to say? Get the F out, you trash bag garbage juice. Get out. Okay, so anyway... I feel like I have an eyelash here. I wish Alex would get evicted. Okay. So Matt and Raven, we're talking Endgame in the Apple Lounge, and Raven says, ideally, she would like to go to the final 3 with Paul and Christmas. I feel really hot right now. They agree that she would lose to Paul, but Raven's cool with that. Get out! Leave! Just leave! So she's like, I'm not really sure if I would beat Christmas, but I would still pick Paul for the final 2 anyway, because after all he's done for me, I couldn't do that to him. This is a game. This is a game. So then she's like, I couldn't backstab my friend, like my actual friend. So she's saying that because she knows Paul outside of the house. She met him before this. I don't know what the extent of their friendship is, but okay. So then everybody except for Kevin spent most of the day yesterday bashing him, and Alex was really like, she was taking it, I can't even say she was taking it way too far, because she's already been so far over the line. I mean, she's like, she's running, the line is miles behind her. So she was like, oh, we should shit in his bed, and then she reveals she actually asked production if that's allowed. Apparently they said no. Who would have guessed that? Can you imagine if this freaking trash bag actually... I'm just saying trash bag over and over again because I don't want to say what I really want to say. Can you believe, like, she actually asked production that? So then she's like, you know, I asked them where the line was. Alright, so then it just seems like she can't talk about anything but Kevin, and it's all extremely nasty. So the bullies are all bored again. It's time to unload on Kevin. You know, they were saying they're going to wait until after the eviction and the HOH competition to see if he wins, but now they're like, nope, we're bored, we need something to do. So let me give you the setup here. Alright, puppy, don't go. He's disgusted. Kevin was sitting by himself on the lounger in the backyard. Matt was by the hammock talking to Raven, Paul, and Josh. So Paul was telling that group, we really need to sell it to Alex and Jason that Kevin's going to be the next target, because they want Alex to feel comfortable enough to throw the HOH competition so that then they can put up her and Jason. So Paul is telling them, you know, you really got to make it look like you do not like Kevin and that you're going to target him. So even though Matt's going this week, he still wants to make sure that Raven is set up in the game. Alright, now over to Kevin. He knows that Matt has been sharing their earlier conversation with people, because Jason has already talked to him and been like, hey, so you were talking to Matt before? Alright, so that's the context of this situation. So Matt was walking into the house. He walked by Kevin, and Kevin asks him, hey, Matt, have you been talking about me? Have you been throwing my name around? And we can't really hear the beginning of this discussion because it was in the background. The cameras hadn't switched to them yet. But you can see in the little thumbnails at the top of the feeds, Matt goes over to Kevin. He gets all close to him. And Kevin's like, don't get in my face. You know, I'm not one of these young kids. Don't do that with me. Don't try that. So then Matt pulls out his freaking high voice. And he's like, are you threatening people again? Are you threatening people? Dude, get the F out of here with that shit. Do you want me to go grab a glass for you? He is like Charlie Day, but not funny. He is not funny Charlie Day. Okay, so then Kevin is like, don't make stuff up. You know, I never threaten you. Don't pull that shit on me. So then Matt's like, you want me to go grab a glass for you so you can threaten me with it? Ah! So Kevin again is saying, I never said anything to you. Don't be throwing my name around like that. And Matt tells Kevin, well, don't raise your voice to me. Ah! So I just want to note here, Matt was the one who was raising his voice. I mean, Kevin did get a little yelly towards the end of that because Matt was all, bleh! But what do you expect? So then Matt goes inside and Kevin is talking to Josh and Paul. He's like, I don't know what the hell that was, you know? I don't know what Matt is talking about. He's making stuff up about me. I never freaking threatened him. And they're just like, what happened? What happened? We didn't even hear it. So then Alex and Jason are cracking up throughout this whole thing. They're watching from the kitchen. They can hear it when Matt opens the sliding door. You guys just suck. Your personalities suck. So then the feeds go down for an hour and 45 minutes. This is similar to what happened the other day when Christmas and Josh were getting into it with Kevin. You know, the feeds went down. We didn't know what the hell was going on. And then when they came back, everybody was calm. So the same thing. They're down for an hour and 45 minutes. And when the feeds come back, everything's calm. But guess what? It wasn't like production was just like, okay, that's enough. No. From the rest of last night's conversations, we know that Matt, Alex, and Raven all went off on Kevin yesterday. Like, it was one of those freaking screaming matches, dragging at people's asses on the floor, that kind of thing. And at this point, I think Big Brother's realizing people are disgusted, and every time they see this shit, they want to turn it off. So they're like, you know what, we'll just block it from everybody. So I don't know if we're ever going to see this on the show or what. Probably not. But apparently it was pretty nasty. So Kevin was talking to Christmas in the kitchen when the feeds came back, and he's worried that people are going to mess with his clothes and other belongings. That is so sad. He was like, what do I have to do? Freaking carry all my stuff around with me to make sure that it's going to be okay? Like, he wants to give stuff to Big Brother to hold on to, but I don't think they're going to do that. So then he says, I hope you see what's going on here. They're all upstairs laughing and playing around. If they were actually upset, they wouldn't be doing that. You know, they're up there having a good time because they know that they have their next target. Yup. And then Kevin says he's all alone. You know, what is he supposed to do here? So, do that. So Christmas says, all right, Kevin, I'm only going to say this once, and I want you to read between the lines. You're not alone. Oh? What, are you actually going to work with him, or are you just going to go ahead and talk shit about him in 5 minutes? But she tells him you're not alone, so Kevin's like, oh, really? Like, he feels a little bit better hearing that. He perks up a little bit. So, again, he's saying that he thinks that Alex or Raven are going to mess with his stuff. He is sick of the way Alex has been treating him. I mean, this must have been really, this blow up must have been bad, because he was already putting up with a lot of shit from Alex, but now he's like over it. So he's thinking that Alex was the one that threw out the slop and she was trying to make him mad at Raven. Yes. Also, he says he's gonna fight, you know, he's not just gonna sit back and take this anymore. Woo! He says that Alex is a huge bully, the biggest bully in the house. And he can tell that they had all planned this beforehand, and they're all in on this because Alex jumped in to defend Matt. Why else would she do that? And Kevin's like, I'm not afraid of Alex. Woo! All right. So then Kevin was talking to Paul in the have-not room. This is where it gets really exciting, guys. Because all along, you know, the past few weeks, we've seen everybody talking so much trash about Kevin behind his back. But Kevin was still saying that he wanted to go to the Final Four with Paul, Jason, and Alex. He was still sticking with that. But now he's like, Kevin says he wants to win this next HOH competition. And Paul's like, no, not this next one, don't. But then Kevin's like, what, so you're going to let Alex win? And Paul's like, she's not going to win this. So then Kevin's like, what, you're going to win this? And Paul's like, he gives him the nod. And then Kevin's like, you're going to put her up, right? He's talking about Alex. And Paul's like, what? So we know that Paul is not going for this HOH because he doesn't want to show his cards yet. But he does not want Kevin to know that. He wants Kevin to feel comfortable throwing it. He ideally wants Josh or Christmas to win, but he will tell Kevin that he's going for it so that Kevin will throw it. Did that make sense? I hope so. So Paul is telling Kevin, you know, just keep this quiet. He doesn't want it getting out that Alex is Alex is not the target. Jason is the #1 target, but he doesn't want that getting out. So Kevin's like, yeah, that's fine. Kevin says he's not going to be kissing Alex's ass anymore. Woo! He's going to tell her straight up that he's against her. Okay, so I just think it's like really entertaining at this point that Kevin was the only person other than Jason who was not going after Alex. You know, he was going to continue to work with her, and all along she was like, oh, Kevin's coming after me, but he wasn't, and she freaking blew it because he's had enough at this point, and now he's like, just get rid of her, I'm done with her. Woo! Okay, so So last night in other news, Paul hurt his face. He like dropped a weight on it or some shit while he was working out. And he's like freaking out about it. He's like, guys, I might have a concussion. No. Alright, he's fine. Okay, he's fine. So then Kevin and Josh were talking in the have not room. And Kevin's telling Josh, don't believe everything you hear. Okay? Don't believe it. So Josh is encouraging Kevin to try talking to Alex. And Kevin and me are both like, are you freaking kidding me? He lists off all the things that Alex has been saying to and about him lately. He's like, nah, it's over. So Josh is like, what, do you want me to pull Paul in here? Does Paul have to do everything? So Josh is then talking to Kevin about how he was always cool with him, but then he heard that Kevin was talking about him behind his back. Everyone's been talking about you. They've been calling you the blob all summer and saying that you're dumb. Wake up. So then Kevin tells him, you know, think about who's running the house right now, because it's definitely not me. So then the $25,000 comes up again. I don't know why Kevin is doing this, because like everybody knows at this point, especially Josh, but Kevin's like, I thought you told me that you got the money on the first night. What? What are you doing, Kevin? Don't do that. But anyway, nothing else really new happened last night. Josh reported this conversation back to the group. I mean, it only added more fuel to the fire because Jason and Alex are thinking, oh my god, everybody's gonna go after Kevin. So I think Alex is actually gonna like throw the HOH, which is insane. So then today, Kevin and Jason were talking in the HOH room, and Kevin is like, Jason, I don't care if I'm going to the jury next week, whatever. I want you and Paul to know that I was always with you guys, and I never lied to you guys, and I've never talked crap about you guys. Which is not completely true, because he has lied in the game, but still, he's definitely been the most loyal to Paul and Jason. He has not really strayed from that. So Jason is like, I gotta be honest, like, I'm feeling a lot better now. The blow up really made things easier for me, because he's saying he can't go against the house, meaning everybody's against Kevin right now, so he does not have to choose between Kevin and Alex at this point. He's like, alright, Kevin, you know what? If you're up on the block, I'm gonna have to vote you out. So he says Alex is his ride or die, so if it comes down to Alex or Kevin, he's gotta pick Alex. Oh, hell no. So Kevin's just like, yeah, I get that, whatever. So it doesn't seem like Kevin's really upset about this, but I think that's because Kevin feels better now that Paul has told him that Alex and Jason are the targets. I think Kevin's like, you know what? I'm gonna enjoy this. So anyway, Kevin brings up all the mean things that Alex has done to him lately, and he's saying there's no way Alex is winning. He tells Jason, if you're in the end with her, you're gonna win this thing. So I think Jason is realizing like Alex is going way too far with it, but he's still going along with it when they're all talking crap about Kevin. It's like really gross. But anyway, eviction is tomorrow. Thank God. Matt will be leaving, and then it's gonna be interesting to see what happens with the next HOH competition. You know what? At least the new Survivor cast came out today. You know, that's something we can all enjoy, right? So let me know what you guys think in the comments, and until tomorrow, much love.